somebody just walked in here and said, okay, what are you giving away for free? It was this little old Italian lady, and you know what, you got to play with your customers a bit, you got to joke with them, there's no need to get offended. So I said, well, first, what are you buying? Then you could have what you want for free. So she chuckled a bit, she picked up a couple things, and I gave her a couple bananas. You know what, maybe that'll be a returning customer, maybe not, but it's Sunday, it's difficult times, so whatever. Lightheartedness will help you a very 1 minute, I'm trying to figure this out. Being lighthearted in these situations like this will help you a lot more than you think, because you really have to learn to be quick, clever with customers who are gonna test you in certain ways like that, for example, and that's fairly innocent, but there's people that will get offended. So I suggest go the clever, lighthearted route, and 9 times out of 10 people will smile and, you know, joke back with you, or maybe they won't know what to say, which is good as well sometimes. If you're new here, guys, I'm Ray. Me and my wife own this grocery store for about 2.5 years now. It's been an uphill battle. If you're not subscribed, you better hit that subscribe button and support this channel by giving it a like. If you're into entrepreneurship or personal finance or anything like that, this channel is 80% about that, 20% about, you know, my own kind of stupidity, but that's okay. We're growing, we're learning, and that's the beauty of life here. So let's get into this video. We kind of wanted to make this one for a while. Finishing up a successful Sunday here. We got Tony D over here, Teresa D. Do you have any business advice for the viewers at all, or do you need time to think about it?
Yeah.
We'll give him a minute to think about it. He's a guest star today on our beat. I think he's ready to go. 3, 2, 1, action.
Be cool, stay home. Just come to the DeMarco store. Here is very safe.
You don't have to yell, eh? We wanted business advice for the viewers. These people are starting their own stores.
Yeah, I said be cool.
So this man right here is an entrepreneur for 40 years. His advice was more for a customer, but now he's going to give it for someone who's a up-and-coming potential business owner. Here he comes.
Be patient.
Be patient, we got it.
Be honest. Never cheat your customer.
Never cheat your customers. Why though? Because they need to return, right?
And make sure that you do a good job cleaning your place.
Cleanliness is godliness. Okay, I take that. Yeah, he's mainly the janitor around here, and he's the stock boy. And now he does some prep work because, well, his barbershop's closed due to, you know, COVID. So unfortunately, you know, all barbers and everything is closed. One of our spots we wanted to highlight today is actually a cafe we've always been interested in. If you watched our earlier vlogs, this place, you know, it obviously took a hit because it closed, and it's been closed, and we're actually hoping it reopens. Now we're going to show you where it's at and how we plan to invest in it and what we want to do with it. It's been a long-term thing that we've kind of really been humming and hawing about. It's a pretty big decision. Usually businesses change hands in about, I'd say, 6 to 8 months on average. Sometimes longer, sometimes shorter, but that's usually an average. So this one is more of a personal experience because it was our next big investment that we wanted to do. Felicia and I have discussed other investments, like a permanent house for ourselves, but this was in the cards for number 1 and number 2 for our investments. Like, it was house, then probably another business, this one or something very similar. So we wanted to show you that, and we're going to go do that right now. I wanted to add one more thing. If you haven't followed us on Instagram, it's Life As I Know It 89. I'm going to put that right here. We actually built quite a a big following over the last couple of years. We're starting to post finally on that channel now. There's going to be a really fun video on it, so if you want to check that out and start following us, you can see more about the store, everything about, like, you know, the videos we make that don't go to YouTube. Follow us there. And so we've been discussing this for a while, honestly, probably what, 5 months now,
maybe longer,
and we're headed there now. We're going to show you what it's all about. The sales, I can tell you at the end of this video of the place, we've already, you know, done all the homework for it. It's a decent investment. It's going to take just as much work as our store to keep growing. But it's been open for about, what is it now? Almost a year.
June will be a year.
Yeah, about a year now. So, I mean, it's another risk, but it comes with the building. So we'll build our, our portfolio. My, way of building my portfolio is having, a couple businesses that I can oversee. That's my overall game plan in my life. Have I told you that?
It's my game plan too.
Like I can't keep working in our business. I want to work on it as well as this one that I'm about to show you.
I feel like our game plan is pretty much the same. I know with our store, our current store anyways, we obviously have to be hands-on. We can't just leave it to employees to run it. So my overall goal is to have like maybe 2 full-time employees and 2 part-time employees, and then have Ray or I be there, maybe alternating or whatever.
Yeah, taking the major role.
Yeah, like ordering and then like deliveries, things like that.
Customer service stuff.
Yeah.
Just improving the store day by day, but having people do the groundwork.
Yeah.
As well as we have no problem doing the groundwork. We've done it, we're used to it, we've done other jobs that have all the, the low, you can't call them lower class, but the physical labor behind running a business. Nobody wants to do that, but people need to do that. Somebody needs to do that, right? So
exactly.
So this basic goal here that we're talking about, having another business that we can oversee, is we need to start using our money to make more money, which we're not doing. We're collecting our money from the store. We're just saving it and saving it. And by no means am I saying we're rich or we're well off yet. I'm saying we need to keep building and diversify what we put our money into. For some God known reason, our store goes under. We need something else for a backup. And a small business is always a huge risk. But if you have 2 things going for you, or you have something else at least on the side that you can fall back on, it's always the best thing. So that's why we're here looking at this property again and the business that comes with it. The numbers, they're not scary. They're pretty, it should work, and
they're as to be expected for a cafe that's been open for a year.
Right.
Like, you're not going to get rich off it, but
you can make a comfortable living.
Yeah. It's 50 degrees out here with a slight chance of wind. But here is the cafe that we love and we hope to be a part of one day. Unfortunately, the economy is going downwards, so we have to take advantage of the situation.
Sitting in a church parking lot here, and I think the priest is watching us, so we're gonna get going here.
We actually got married at this church, so...
Right, so we should have every right to record in this parking lot, right?
And it's fitting because the cafe's right across the street, so hello.
Yeah, I'll do later. So, aside from buying the business or the building or whatever, and we'll get into the numbers like I always say once I get to my home office.
Yes.
Rather, it's just a kitchen table. The main thing is it's upsetting that the business had to close for 2 to 3 months. And I say that because as an entrepreneur, as someone who owns a business, I know how much it hurts to close and still have to pay bills, rent. Well, when you own the building, you have to pay your taxes, your mortgage, whatever it may be. It's never good to close because people start forgetting about you. So that's why I feel that. And then on the personal side of things, it was always nice to kind of relax, go there. It was always, nice and that had a great atmosphere. The customer service was great, and we could actually get work done and just kind of decompress and just enjoy a cappuccino
and a sandwich.
And when you're always on and go with your own business, it's nice to just forget about that for at least a half hour and go to somewhere that you can just chill and relax. And now, sadly, it is unfortunate that we can't do any of that right now. Well, I guess we could stay home, but we're never really home either. This is our parking garage, by the way. We're headed into that now. That's why it just got dark. So I'm gonna go upstairs. Let's get into the numbers for all the data people that want to know if this is a good investment or not. All right, I'm back at home. What the hell is that? Back in the kitchen. She's probably gonna start a cooking channel. Eh? What do you think?
I don't know. Maybe one day.
Maybe one day. Yeah, that's probably... We're gonna build this one still, so too many projects at once. Okay, so getting into it. The building and business together is $375,000 with the apartment on top included. So the business is 1,400 square feet and the apartment up top is 600 square feet. which needs a little bit of work, but also could be rented out or possibly lived in. I don't think I'll be doing that. There's a small basement storage area, about 250 square feet, that we could obviously use. All equipment is brand new, state-of-the-art stuff. I can tell you that the coffee machine, I used it and I was impressed. We were behind the counter a little bit. $25,000 was the price of the coffee machine new. Personally, I wouldn't have spent that money on something like that if I was opening up my own, but it's already there, and I think it makes sense with the overall asking price. So, employees, we have 2 part-timers, 2 full-timers. We have no obligation to keep these people, but they obviously are well trained and seem to be pretty loyal, as we've seen, because we've been there many times and we've spoken to the owners about everything and the ins and outs before we showed any interest on taking over the operation. Business on paper is profitable. There's probably a lot to look into with everything else. Sorry if I'm glancing down here. I have everything on a document here I'm just going over. Business is profitable, not by a huge stretch, but profitable for its first year, which is good because it can keep growing with the right people to add more marketing. The business that has done no marketing, it's owned by a very old couple. Very old, sorry, they're not old, they're wise, let's say that. So they don't do too much social media, which really could help, as we've seen in our store, and we've done very well with that. Social media literally is free money for your store or business, and as you build a following, they keep sharing and resharing, and it's just an amazing thing to take advantage of, which this business hasn't really done at all. So with the right marketing approach, website, social media, adding new options, vegan options, things like that, I think it could be even more profitable than it is. That's why we're really excited to keep pushing forward with this overall deal. Is it going to be a huge risk? Of course. Forget about, running a cafe is pretty much just like running a mini restaurant. You have to understand that there's really not a big difference. You need to sell food, you need to turn your chairs over as much as possible. The biggest thing that I know my pet peeve is people who will sip one tea for 2 hours. I already have trouble, Felicia, you could tell them, I already have trouble now when people take too long in our store and only spend $2.
He's awful.
And they're only in there for like 2-3 minutes. But when they keep touching everything and moving everything and, trying to find one onion out of a stack because they think they have to find the world's most prized onion just because they're spending $1, that annoys me enough. And I don't know if I'm ready to have someone spend $2 and be a Wi-Fi vampire for 2 hours in my shop. So business revenues, $180,000 is what they did in their first year, about $15,000 a month on average. Growth is steady but slower. It's very hard. It is very hard to build, to grow a one location business, as we're learning. Like, your months will be very slowly growing, and the summer is obviously going to be better in our business because we deal with a lot of local produce and products, and we have a lot of walking traffic. This location has a lot of walking traffic too, but coffee in the summer in general, it's a whole nother mess. So while one of our businesses is busier, the produce store, the grocery store, in the summer, the coffee shop should be slower. In the winter, our grocery store is obviously a bit slower, but coffee should be busier. That's not true everywhere, but this is what I've seen for my location's revenues and this coffee shop's revenues. So I'm hoping both balance out. One goes up, one goes down, and we have a perfectly well-oiled machine. Okay, other than that, the business has its own personal blend of coffee, which the public seems to really love. There's obviously options to wholesale it through our own store, through other stores. We have a lot of connections in the small business market in the city now. So if we can have our own beans to resell, to wholesale to other businesses, that's a whole nother market we're going to look into. And that will come with time as well, once everything's situated. The apartment up top can be rented for another revenue stream. The cafe, if possible, could be re-rented to someone else if we just want to be landlords. That is probably not what we want to do. It's an option to fall back on. Okay, so we're a little bit all over the place. I get that, but the numbers are here. We're getting serious, and to be honest with you, the sale price of $375 might be a little lower now because of the economic downturn. So we're also going to look into that and update you in the future on any of these things once they come into fruition. With that all being said, I know I have spilt a lot of information. We want to say, Felicia, what are you cooking tonight? This is how we usually...
Stir fry with rice.
Chicken stir fry with
Lots
rice.
of veggies.
Lots of
Maybe
veggies.
Ray will take a picture of it.
Yeah, I can take a picture of it, I guess, or something. We're trying to get healthier, like we all should. All right, we're gonna sign out here. Thanks for watching, guys. If you like this one, please subscribe. Wow, did you just, what happened? You burn yourself? Okay, I gotta get going. Cheers. We love you guys.